Your father died when you were 1 year old?
1 year old, yeah.
Growing up, were you good with women?
Not even a little bit.
Guys look at red flags in Western women as a cope.
You're not competing just for women. You're competing against other dudes.
I think a lot of guys just doubt that it's going to work for them. So it's easier not to want to try.
And there's another guy who's watching this content that's going to do it.
Feeling lonely, feeling like you settled for a life. How do you manage the stress?
Stop looking for that shortcut because it hurts nobody but you.
You came from Nigeria without a father, 9 years old, bro.
The biggest problem for younger guys is...
Bismarck, a.k.a. FITXFEARLESS.
Nice to meet you, G.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing it, man.
Very appreciate it.
So you just got to Miami like 7 months ago, huh?
7 months ago, I moved here in December.
Straight from Colombia?
Colombia
To Miami. Where was it before that?
I was in college.
Louisiana, right?
Louisiana. Yeah, it's been a lot of a journey.
Louisiana,
Yeah.
Colombia. What brought you to Colombia?
Bro, I like to travel. So when I was in college, that's when I was kind of like getting into like game and like chicks and shit. So I wanted to like experience a diverse culture. And so I actually went to Mexico and then I went to Colombia and I just fell in love.
Ciudad de Mexico or where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ciudad de Mexico.
Okay. Is that when you learned Spanish in Mexico and Colombia?
No, I was learning Spanish like before. I actually threw this software called Pimsleur. And like when I was going there, like I was just like studying and practicing with girls.
With girls. Is that the motivation for learning Spanish?
Yeah, of course. 100%.
Damn. So you're born in Nigeria.
Born in Nigeria.
No, I'm curious because I can't find that much. You're a little bit mysterious of a guy. The information I know about you from your content or other pods you've done. Born in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I think your father died when you were 1 year old.
1 year old, yeah.
I can't imagine. I guess you weren't there to like fully experience it.
Yeah.
But tough regardless.
Yeah.
You moved here when you were 9?
Moved here with my mom when I was 9.
To Louisiana?
To New Orleans, Louisiana, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Then you went to University Louisiana Lafayette?
Lafayette.
Track and field?
Track and field, yeah.
This is like all the information I know. And then you had a breakup in college.
Yeah.
And that's
break up in college. Yeah.
You started dating her before college or?
No. It was the major breakup was like second year of college.
There was a minor breakup before it?
Yeah, it was like one girl the freshman year.
Yeah.
I don't know which story you're referring to because it's like two different girls.
Okay.
The one, I don't know which one. Like if it's the girl who broke my heart that I always talk about.
Is that the first one or the second one?
No, that's the second one.
Oh, it's different than most guys.
Yeah. The first one didn't really break my heart. But the second one, I think I was like, the reason why I broke my heart is because I thought I knew chicks at that point to a decent level.
Yeah.
And like I didn't. So that's what kind of bit me in the ass.
So were you in the game a little bit before the second one?
Before the second one.
So you were like, I've been studying up.
Yeah.
I know what to expect. Well, what was it that caught you off guard in the end with that one?
It was just listening to her, like letting her lead in terms of like wanting something more. So it was a long distance thing, not really long distance thing. We met at a camp, and we were never even dating.
So she didn't go to the same university.
No,
as you.
like I was in this engineering like group where you go to like different cities and like train kids because I was studying engineering, and like she just happened to be at that camp.
It's like during the summer of
during
university.
The summer.
Okay.
And like I had no plans of ever like wanting anything. Like we hooked up pretty quickly because I was like really into games. So like I was like approaching a lot.
You were applying the pressure.
I was I thought I had my mindset ready.
Yeah.
And then we were like sleeping with each other at the whole camp. But I always knew like she had a dude she was fucking with and like back where she lived. That I knew it. But not like she was fucking with, but she kind of like made a slick like statement like she was talking to somebody. But what I knew then, I knew she was still, obviously the girl tells you she used to talk to somebody back in her hometown, she's probably gonna go back to that dude. So I, in my head, already knew I'm not gonna take this girl seriously. But then as we hung out more and more throughout the camp, like I started to like her, and then she was the one that was like, yo, let's see where this could go. And I'm like, I was not planning on this, but okay.
Yeah.
You're cool. And then, man, she comes to visit me in
Louisiana.
my school. Yeah, she comes to visit me in Louisiana. I remember I took this girl skydiving. I was super into like adventure and stuff like that. And then when I went to go see her, that's when the problems came. And like it became a major inconvenience for her. But what pissed me off was
So wait, what problems came? Where was she at?
she was in Colorado.
Okay, she was in Colorado.
I went to Colorado, yeah. What pissed me off, what really, really pissed me off, and like what I would consider as breaking my heart was I tried to make her life as easy as possible when she came here. And like when I went to go see her, it was like I was an inconvenience. And I was like, you the one who told me to come here. And then after that, like she had hit me up and was like, oh, I need to take a break. I was like, oh Lord, here comes the nonsense.
So she roped you in.
She roped me in.
This is what girls do, right? She roped you in, then she knew she had you, and then she started toying a little bit.
That's what I consider as the heartbreak. Because there's more of a disappointing in myself. I was like, this is what women do. Yeah. And that's what I was like, fuck.
So like, I thought I knew it.
Yeah.
But I still got played a little bit.
I still got played. And that's what I was like, damn. That was kind of like the foundation of like everything.
So is that when you start? No, you didn't start content yet. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you say it's the foundation of everything, like the deep pain.
Yeah. But I would say I didn't start content yet, but it was then I knew that I would probably get into content.
Okay.
Because I felt like, bro, I was putting so much work. I'm somebody that believes in like doing everything I can to get what I want. So like when I wasn't getting the results I wanted with girls in college, because I was like, I didn't understand that I need to become a better man. I was studying engineering, I was running track, but that wasn't enough to get girls. And once I started learning game, I was like, bro, I gotta really, really get good at this shit. And when that happened with her, I was like, bro, I'm never gonna let a girl do this to me again. That was like I was like, I'm gonna always be the best possible guy. So I'm the person with the leverage. Cause I didn't have leverage. Like that's what I realized later on. Like I wasn't the person.
Like you weren't so good that it'll be stupid for her to walk away from you.
Exactly. And I think that's what every man needs to be. The woman needs to be like, there's no way I can lead this dude.
Like my life is clearly better with him than without him.
Yeah. And that's when I was like, man, I gotta start making content. I started personal training. I started like, even while I was studying in engineering, I was studying school. I was studying to be an engineer. I decided to not go be an engineer. I wanted to go like pursue like my own freedom. And like I started training people in Colombia, training like foreigners, Americans in Colombia. Yeah, that's like where this whole thing started.
So connect the dot for me. I know, I get it's painful and you're like,
yeah.
I'm never gonna let another girl do this to me again, and I need to be like the best I can be.
Yeah.
But how does that lead to letting engineering go exactly?
Because, okay, here's why. So I've always felt like I need to do something great ever since I was young. And I wanted to study engineering because it had a high paying, like engineers get paid a lot, especially the engineering field I graduated in was petroleum engineering. Yeah. And like I literally searched what's the highest paying in the engineering, and they said petroleum. That's why I went to school for engineering. I never really loved it or cared about it. But when I started training people in Colombia, foreigners, Americans who had their own businesses, it was when I trained my first millionaire that I was like, something is not right.
Yeah, I have an engineer. Well, software engineering, very different than petroleum engineering.
Yeah, but still engineering, bro.
But I got started with that.
Yeah.
But it was a similar thing. I did a year of that, but it was a very similar thing where it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right. And I went from that to doing personal training also. Yeah. I was doing it for like an Equinox gym.
Yeah.
But it was a similar thing that I knew I was going to take the short-term loss. But I was hoping that it was going to lead to like something more, maybe not exciting, but kind of exciting, because engineering is not exciting. Well, at least for me, it wasn't very exciting.
Yeah.
It was because I remember like I got into that job and like I could just, whatever challenges they threw at me, I was like, I can learn that code language, I can handle this project, I can handle this. And I was like, this is kind of like, it's getting kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I was seeing the people 2 or 3 positions ahead of me. I was like, that's not really who I want to be.
Yeah. For me with engineering, it was just like, it was never me. Like I felt like I always.
No, it was the Google search you did for the highest paying career.
It was never me. But like helping people, like I remember when I was, even my engineering friends, they would come to me to get help with fitness because I was running track. I had that athletic background and I was like always into fitness. So I was just like, man, I just enjoy helping people get in better shape. I always enjoy like helping my fellow man. So I was like, bro, I would do this shit for free. And like, I'm like, you mean tell me somebody will pay me to train them? Oh, bro. I was like, I was willing to let go of all that.
So you trained your first millionaire in Colombia.
Yes.
Did that, like, did that change your mindset? Like seeing that person, this is a millionaire in Colombia who's not a petroleum engineer?
Bro, I was still in college. So
you hadn't moved there yet?
I hadn't even moved there. I was going there every summer. And I remember this is so funny, man. Me and my buddy from track, who's also an engineer, right? He's an electrical engineer, real smart dude. Me and him created like this video of me boxing, as like a workout promotion, and I posted it on a Facebook group. And that's where like the dude's roommate reached out to me. The dude's roommate still lives in Miami. Like I remember, like he's here, and like I started training him first, and then because I was training him and I was coming to their place and training them in a really nice place in Colombia, the dude who was the millionaire was like, "Yo, man, can you train me too? You come here and train him. Can you just train me after?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Wait, these two dudes are living in Colombia. They don't have a set job. They making crazy bread from their fucking computer." And I'm going to school. I got 1 year left to get an engineering degree.
What were they doing? Do you remember exactly?
Something with marketing, man.
Okay. Right.
Something with marketing. I'm not sure specifically, but they were doing something in the marketing space. And I was just like, bro, no way. And like, I'm somebody, if I see it's possible, that's all I need to see. And I'm like coaching this person every day. And I'm seeing their day-to-day life. And like, it's like, bro, I don't need any more motivation. Like, this person can do it, so can I. And like, me graduating school became so hard. After I did that, I'm like, man, there's no way I want to do this. So I like toughed through it. And then I was like, man, I'm coming right back to Colombia.
How old are you now? 27?
27.
27.
27.
So, okay. So you kind of got started down this path at like 19, 20 then?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
That's early. I mean, it's earlier than me. I was still lost at that time. I think I started reading game stuff, like the old pickup books.
Yeah.
Back, it must have been after my sophomore year of university. Yeah, I was like on vacation, and my like older cousin was like, "Yo, like you need to read this, bro. Like, you need this shit, bro." Yeah, I mean, he was reading it too. Yeah, but it opened my mind to it. So I guess it was a similar age, but I guess maybe I dabbled for a while. I didn't start content till I was 27. I didn't start YouTube till I was 27.
How old are you now?
34.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm a little low key jealous that I didn't start the YouTube game
but
earlier.
You put almost a decade in the game already, though.
Yeah, and before that, I had like a written blog when that was a thing. And
okay.
I had some old YouTube videos before that, but basically, like 27 when I was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna be a professional at YouTube. You know, that's when everything started changing.
That's dope.
So for you, I know you had this heartbreak in college.
Yeah.
Growing up, were you good with women, like in high school and stuff?
No, I was always the dude. Not even a little bit. Like I was never.
Were you getting rejected, or were you just like, they're not even part of my life?
No, it was just like I never understood how I was supposed to do it. So, like women would just, I would see guys have successful women. And what was crazy was I remember, man, even in high school, I was so fascinated by being good with girls that I would like put myself around dudes that I saw deal well with girls just so I could understand what the hell they were doing, how were they acting, so I could be that guy. But it wasn't until like now, like so many years on that, I understood the reason I was doing it because I wanted to soak in information to become better with women. It just never hit me like, hey man, you need to carry yourself this way, dress better, learn how to talk to girls. Like the practical stuff, I didn't have an idea what to do.
It seemed like a mystery, yeah?
Yeah, it was like just I didn't have no fucking brothers. I'm an only child.
Okay.
No brothers, like no father figure. Like my mom remarried, but the dude was never like, so I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do.
It's funny because when you said that, it reminded me of a memory that I feel like was like a repressed memory that I haven't thought about, I don't think, since it's happened. But I remember in college, my freshman year, there was a sophomore who lived on my floor, smoking hot girlfriend. And I remember talking to him like, it's probably the first time I opened up to about anyone either. One of those first times, like what do I do, man?
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, honestly, like, I don't really remember how I attracted this girl, bro. If I was single again, I don't even know how to figure it out. And I remember when he told me, I was the wrong person to ask, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was kind of like, I got lucky, and if I was single, I'd be fucked too. And I remember hearing it from him. I was like, man, it's not even worth trying.
Exactly.
I was like, man, it's not even worth trying, bro.
And that's why I think content and like giving guys a blueprint is so important. Because it's like, I feel like so many guys are like, I've experienced that same thing. Where we're in my shoes or in your shoes, where it's like, bro, where do I start? What do I need to do first? Because I was like, bro, how am I supposed to do this shit? That you're supposed to like me? Like, what's going? I was never the kind of dude who was like just really, really good looking to where girls would come up to me. But I never had the practical, like, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this. You could get girls.
No, I'm in the same boat, man.
Yeah.
I remember when my cousin handed me that book, I guess a year after this other thing happened, and I started reading it. No, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I could actually start meeting girls. Like, I don't know if I trust this, but I remember then like the next year I started. I mean, it was like drunken, like frat party, like approaches, but I got like laid a couple times. When I had been laid before that, I was like, damn, like, with just like the most minimal guidance, like I can have this small result. And then of course that's when your brain starts going, okay, well, what if I like, it didn't happen to me then, but a few years later, okay, what if I like double down on this and actually take this seriously? Then what will happen?
It was like a eureka. Like that same thing. Like I just didn't. Your brain doesn't open up. That's why I think I'm jealous of a lot of these guys, man.
The younger guys who have the content.
Yeah, like bro, man, come on. If I had you or me to tell me what the fuck to do, bro.
But it also frustrates me because some of these guys, they'll be in my like coaching programs. They'll be like, yeah, but I just can't, like, what do I do? Approach her. I'm like, bro, I've told you what to do.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but like, I still have that doubt in my mind. I'm like, and you're always gonna have that doubt in your mind.
Exactly.
Like you still know what you got to do, bro. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't have an idea, bro. Like, where do we start? So yeah, man. I think now guys have more information, and they're suffering from analysis paralysis. Like we didn't even have the guidance or like the, hey man, just do this until like a lot later. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's. It's all right.
Yeah, there's different schools. It was something else I'm going to get into later about different schools of like dating philosophies. But I do think that trips guys up. And it's a question from a guy in my community for you. But first, I'm a bit curious. What does your dating life look like now? Because I know after that breakup, you're like, I'm always going to have the leverage.
Yeah.
And I imagine after that, you went on a tear. I naturally, I would assume.
Yeah. I got a girl now. I've been seeing for like a few years.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I care about her. She's solid. But I do tell her that like I on the side I'm gonna do, but it's never gonna be in her face. I'm honest. Like I don't feel like I'm 100% ready to be sexually exclusive with one girl, but I do want to have a partner.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm honest about that.
Is she cool with it? Because I've interviewed a lot of guys and I met a lot of guys too, and it is funny because a lot of times, yes, like I'm a main girl, and from time to time she knows I'll travel. This will happen. Yeah. But then like the girl's hitting him up, and she's upset that he's traveling, and I'm like, is that like how is that like with you?
It's always a challenge with a girl, right? It's always gonna be a challenge. It's just I think what has helped me has been like always being transparent. Like I'm not gonna lie about what I'm doing, and like we have boundaries. That she like I don't like this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I think, in my opinion, that's at least healthy. Because I think a lot of guys, they might want that same thing and they just lie to the girl.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. Then you're just kind of, that's very weak, right? Because then you're like, then you don't, the girl would leave you if you did what you wanted to do. If we're going too personal, let me know. But like, what type of boundaries other than, obviously I know you set the boundary, hey, from time to time this might happen. Yeah. But like, does she have certain boundaries for you?
Yeah. She doesn't want to see certain stuff.
Like on social media? Or?
Yeah, bro, everywhere. Like she doesn't want to see stuff around the crib. Like I gotta do my part, and I respect that. Like I wouldn't want the girl I'm with to not have any say so in a life with me, because then I feel like she would be trapped. Like if this is gonna happen, like I care about you, I love you, I want you to be in my life. I do want a future with you. I've made this clear.
So you're open to marrying her, for example.
Partner, maybe not married.
Okay. But like you're open to monogamy in the future.
Yes, and a family.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just now I don't feel like I've let that side go completely. Where like I would just I don't want to fuck any other girls.
Okay.
Yeah, but at least I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not gonna lie about it.
Okay, and does it creep up in other parts of the relationship where you feel like because I was having a conversation with someone else, and they were telling me a situation where like the girl agrees to it, but then like it builds up tension,
Of course.
and then from time to time, like she gets mad at you about other things because she's still not fully accepted of that. Like she's accepted the boundary, but she's not happy with it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's but that's where I got to be mature and understand how to like be a leader in a relationship. I feel like something that I've improved on in this relationship is like being more mature and not being as reactive. I think I've grown a lot with this.
Can you give some examples? Because we don't usually. I know. Well, I think most guys like we're gonna focus more on helping guys in the first few steps.
Yeah.
Because there's more guys who need help with the first few steps.
Yeah.
But I think like diving into relationships, because I tell guys, man, once you figure out the first few steps, getting a girl's number, getting laid, getting a few days, that's the easy part. The hard part is having a stable relationship where the frame is solid. You guys both love each other. You guys both have boundaries for each other, and you can communicate as things go wrong.
Yeah, I think that's something that guys downplay, bro. They think that the relationship part is the easy part.
But that's easy. That's a good story to tell yourself.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm just gonna get the girl, then I'm good, bro.
Yeah, like, bro, you need just as much game.
I think more. I think because you get tested in the earlier stages. You get a shit test where you just gotta be like, you brush it off, like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna react to this, right?
Yeah.
But you get emotionally tested with the girl you're with because she learns how to push your buttons.
Exactly.
Right? She's the same way you learn how to push her buttons. She knows like she can say something that. Obviously, we work to our best to remain calm in these moments, but she knows she can test it.
Yeah, and I think you got to have that emotional intelligence a lot more when you have a partner, and you got to know how to guide her. I think you got to be even better with women, bro, to be able to have a relationship. To maintain, I think you got to be so good to maintain a relationship.
So, what are like a few things that come to mind that you've done differently in this relationship that like you could pass on to other guys? And I'm also curious too.
Yeah, I would say before I would like react so badly when a woman was emotional, like excessively emotional. I don't want I just hate drama. I hate it. But now I'm just like, okay, there's a cause and effect to this. Like if I just shut off every single time she's emotional, I can't help her be better with her emotions. Because as her boyfriend, as her partner, like she's relying on me to help her, you know what I'm saying, like be the leader. I think that's something I've started to become a lot better at.
So what's something that you'll do in the moment where she's being emotional? She's upset about something. She's probably trying to get an emotional reaction out of you. And how do you handle
I would
that?
just be calm.
Okay.
And I would just like try to be as logical as possible and start off from an understanding standpoint. I understand why you're upset. I understand why you're angry. All right, but here's how this can be better. Here's what I can do to be better. And here's how this situation can be better in total.
So you take up front already, this is my, you're almost leading or taking responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Like this is like, I understand, even if you feel like, hey, this is like really 95% her fault. You're like,
exactly.
you're like,
you have to.
You gotta find that 5% where like,
yeah.
And you don't want to in that. I know this happens in my relationship as well.
Yeah.
It's like in that moment, it's the last thing you want to do is like admit you're part of the blame, even if it is the 5% versus the 95%. But I agree that like owning that 5%, even if it's just 5%, and maybe sometimes it's 50%, maybe sometimes it's 95% or not, right? But like owning that part, hey, I understand you're upset about this. This is what I'm gonna do next time, to respect that boundary of yours, or like to try and avoid the situation.
Exactly. That's something I think I've gotten a lot better.
But a lot of times in that moment, they still don't give you the like. In my mind, in that moment, when I admit that 5%, I expect her to be like, "Oh my God, you're so right! Like I'm really in the wrong. I'm really so much better." But that's not how girls are. They're still pissed, right?
They're still pissed. They're still pissed. And as a guy, this is where I think you got to be. You got to be like firm and like, hey, this is how things should be. Like under no circumstances, I'm not gonna like tolerate disrespect. Mm-hmm. I think that's where guys get it confused. Like your girl should never be disrespecting you, like calling you names. Like that's something that we have in our relationship. It's like there's no calling of names. Like you never want to get to the point where, and that's something I had to like work on myself.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I can't. We're not gonna get to the point where we're insulting each other.
Yeah.
Because when it gets to that point, now it's like, okay, now it's no longer about trying to work it out.
Well, as soon as someone throws insult, I mean, either you have to,
Yeah.
I'm removing myself from the situation. You know, you can't do that. Like we'll talk in a minute.
Yeah.
But a lot of times what happens is it goes from here to here just to here.
Exactly.
Because then you're like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's no longer about talking with each other to make the relationship better.
It's not even about the issue anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's not something way more.
It's more, I want to hurt you more than you hurt me.
Yeah. 100%.
Now I'm coming for your family or something, right? Yeah,
100%. 100%. And I think no man should be tolerating that kind of disrespect.
Of course.
Like you should be like, hey man, we're not gonna call each other names. We're not here to hurt each other. It's still me and you in a relationship, right? We need to be working through this together. But like at the end of the day, I think as a man, you still have to be willing to walk away. Like if you love this girl with all your heart and it has gotten to the point where like, okay, there's no return. Like this relationship has gotten so bad where there's no respect, you gotta walk away. But until it gets to that point, I think it's a lot to do with the man.
We can craft relationships over time.
Yeah,
that's
man.
what I've learned. We have the power to craft the relationship.
Yeah.
Not like from today to tomorrow, but from this year to next year to the next year.
Exactly. And a lot of guys wait till it gets to the point where she's completely lost all respect for you.
It's too late.
It's too late. Now you have to walk away.
Yeah, it's like if like Joe Biden, man. Like a lot of people don't respect him anymore, right?
Yeah.
And if he tried to do another lockdown, I think a lot of, and I know maybe Trump started lockdown, but the point is like once you lose respect, it's like, well, you're not really my leader anymore because I don't really, unless like you're gonna put me in handcuffs, put me away, like yeah,
exactly. So I think that's super important. That's the maturity that I think a lot of men have to have.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, if I react in a way where I just shut down every time a girl is emotional, there will be no girl I could be compatible with. Because then no matter how good things are in the beginning, women are just very emotional. You got to learn how to handle her being emotional and be her rock. And that's something that I've had to work on.
That's the hardest part of dating.
I know.
And I'm married now and kids are around the corner and it does not get easier.
Yeah.
It does not get easier.
Bro, that's why I think men are so foolish for thinking that pickup or like initial stages of dating is all you need. Like this is a constant progress. Like you have to keep working on this shit, bro. Like you have to keep trying to get better, even in your relationships, to be the man that your woman still respects.
And that's the hardest thing, I think, if you're, like I say for myself, being an entrepreneur, and I have YouTube, and I have a couple businesses, and I have the girl. My biggest fault is from time to time, I deprioritize the relationship because the other things have like urgency, and the relationship usually doesn't have urgency, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough.
But that's where the partner comes in.
Yeah.
Like she understands the journey.
Yeah,
she understands that, hey, but that starts with your communication. What I've understood about relationships is responsibility is gonna help everybody. Like if you take as much responsibility for the things you did wrong or you could have done better, then a lot of the times, man, it won't be a shouting match. So like if you let your girl know from the beginning, baby, I work a lot. This is my life. Like if she understands it, I think she would be a lot more supportive.
Agreed. Well, I also think that. Well, let me before I say this. What for you were the biggest reasons? I hate saying like green flags and using these, but what were the biggest things that made this girl? Because obviously you've dated a lot.
Yeah.
You see you've been this girl for a couple of years. You see you're having a future with her, a family with her.
Yeah.
What first? Okay, yeah. So what in like the first few interactions with her stood out, and then what like 6 months later stood out to like this? I should take this girl more seriously and like pursue this.
I feel like she just never needed something substantial. She never like forced me to not be myself. I feel like I could just always be me. Right? I didn't think that she didn't need it. I feel like a lot of girls, man, especially when you have a little bit of success, it's always like, I don't know, man. They're not being genuine. Right? They're in relationships or they want to be in a relationship for the status of being in a relationship and not so much because they want to be with that partner. And I feel like, this is something that I told her, but like one of the big things for me in the beginning that I was like, okay, there's somebody that I might want to take seriously was when we were in Colombia.
Did you meet her in Colombia?
I met her in Colombia.
Is she Colombian?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Colombiana.
Yeah. I'm like in Colombia, like when I first met her, the first few months, it was like they still had lockdown. And like she had no problem. Like we would just do the most like it would just be like throwing the football outside, running. Like she still wanted to be a part of my life when there was not much involved, and that was huge for me.
You didn't feel like you had to like entertain her.
Yeah, I didn't have to like be something I'm not to keep her like liking me. Like imagine you on lockdown and a girl doesn't mind coming over and you guys running.
Yeah.
That's something that I appreciate, and that will make me want to give the girl the world. Like if you don't need that much from me, like just to be with me, like you legitimately like who I am, then I'm gonna give you everything, and that's something that was super important to me. Like she just so peaceful and calm. Like she kind of grew up in the same kind of background I grew up in Nigeria, like small village town, like family oriented. Like isn't like super. She's not excited about super flashy things, even though I am. And that's somebody I would like. I need that balance, right? Because I'm like, if I'm somebody who's like super flashy, I like the fast life. I need a partner that's like down to earth, grounded. So if I do have a family, it's not like it's a yin and a yang. It's a lot more groundedness. Somebody that can be the things that I'm not per se, that I'll feel more comfortable with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it feels like a natural balance. She balances you out.
Exactly.
It feels easy with her.
Yeah.
She likes you for you, which seems like a cheesy thing to say. but a lot of times when you're dating girls in the early stages, it does feel like like I have to really work to keep this going, and it shouldn't feel like that.
It shouldn't feel like that.
I mean, maybe the first couple dates.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like a lot of girls they're so structured in the way they think that relationships should go. And to me, that's not how I would want to. That's not how I would want my partner. I want a girl to be easygoing. Like you being difficult does not make me want you. Like, cause my life is already difficult. So like, I don't need a girl to be like trying to prove a point with me, trying to like fight me to establish dominance. I will give you everything. I will respect you with all my might if you just be a woman. Like bring me peace, and you let me be a man. I think a lot of women like that in today's world.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I can see in the comments. Yeah, but she's Colombian, bro. Like I can't find that in the Western world.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's bullshit. I think that's BS, man. And here's why. So I've told guys, I've gotten way more attention, in my opinion, when I've moved back to Miami than I was in Colombia. Crazy. I'm like, you would think that I'm a foreigner in Colombia, girls are going to be treating me differently. But I think it's been opposite. I think girls, like if you make yourself stand out as a man, I think you might have more leverage in America. I really think so. Because you're not, the problem that I was seeing in Colombia was you're a foreigner. So women have an incentive to maybe act a certain way towards you, or they expect you to act a certain way. Like they expect you to be a provider. They expect you to. That's one of the reasons why I liked my girl. She didn't expect me to like. It was just easy going. I think when you are a foreigner in these countries, a lot of girls have game too, bro. They think it's just fucking Western girls. Bro, these girls, they know that you want to come there and get a girl who you think that doesn't understand how life works, and you just want. So they have game. Like a lot of girls are not like that anymore.
So they'll front to be this innocent, like traditional thing, and really they're not. It's just the game up front.
Exactly. And I think guys think, oh, I'm gonna just go to these countries and I'm gonna just find a traditional woman. I think you have to make your woman.
Well, I do think crafting, like I said, crafting the relationship and crafting your woman is I think that's the path that you have to take if you're gonna commit to a girl. You have to look at it, and maybe women wouldn't like. Maybe women don't want to hear it put that way. Like
they don't want to hear that
crafted.
Word. Yeah,
but I think it has to be done.
Yeah, of course, it's 100%. And then the girls who are okay with letting that happen are the girls who are gonna get the most from men. See, a lot of women hear that word and they think, oh no, I don't.
A man's not gonna change me and tell me what to do.
Okay, good luck getting the kind of guy you want. A top level dude to now. Like, how is that even possible? You want a baller, you want a 1% man to be like, that's not gonna happen. So a woman that lets her man like be the leader, I think is gonna get the most from men.
Yeah.
And I think guys need to understand that can also happen in America, bro. There are plenty of girls here, especially if you put yourself in a major city, right? You got to be smart enough to vet the trash regardless. Like, there are girls who are going to be promiscuous, girls who are going to be in the scene everywhere.
Yeah, and I think you also have to just... A lot of guys, I think they immediately get shut down because a girl does one thing that they don't like. And obviously, up front, there are certain red flags that are deal breakers. But I also think every person in the world, myself and yourself included, even the most pure girl included, has red flags. Right?
Yeah,
there's no perfect person.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some red flags that she cheated on you. I mean, maybe that's not a red flag. Maybe that's just like, this is out. That's out.
Yeah.
But there are deal breakers like that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of guys look at red flags in Western women as a cope for not having to try because they're all fucked. And it's like, well, maybe they are a little bit fucked. The same way that I'm probably a little fucked and you're a little fucked and you're a little fucked. But like, if you lead and you can be strong and you can show them that you're maybe different than a lot of the guys. A lot of girls are also used to dating guys without boundaries who aren't trying to do too much. And the girl has to play the mother figure. Yeah. She's got to maybe provide for them a little bit. She feels like she has to lead the way. Well, of course, she's going to come into her next relationship with her guard up a little bit and be a little bit resistant to you leading. Yeah. But you got to stay strong. I think if there's a girl who you like, obviously you don't like her, just whatever. But like, give it like more than a date. But give it a few months to see. Oh, is she open to the crafting a little bit?
Yeah, I think a lot of girls are, man. I think most girls too. I think every single girl is open to the crafting if you're the guy that she wants. And every guy does. Guys don't want, like you say, it's a cope. They don't want to become the guy that women want. Why not give yourself all the badges? Why not be in great shape? Why not dress well? Why not make more money? Why not be more fashionable? So you're what these women want, so you can get the girl that you want. Like, wow, you can be what every girl wants, and then you can pick which girl you decide to craft.
But bro, I don't want to. So if a guy says, but bro, like I'm not trying to just do all this for women, man. Like why am I trying to do all that for women?
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Man. That shit makes no sense. Because let's forget.
But women are given everything, and I gotta try so hard.
Don't, because this is why I think guys are so stupid. Like they can be very stupid. You're not competing just for women. You're competing against other dudes. Every man wants exactly what you want. All right, you're a successful guy. They're competing with us. Like, bro, every resource, everything in life, like you're competing with men who are willing to do whatever it takes to be at the top of the totem pole. And you just, don't. Because even if it's regardless of women, let's take women aside. If you don't want to do this for women, who are you doing it for then? You don't want to be in good shape? You're not going to be respected? You don't want to make money? No, your family's going to respect you. Other men are not going to respect you. Like, why would you not want to make yourself overall the best possible man? So you get respect from men, society, and you get women. When you do all this shit for yourself, it ain't just for girls. You get respected in the world as well.
No, I agree. It's a win-win. It's a win.
Exactly.
Your life's even if you get fit, okay, you're gonna look better, you're gonna live longer, you're gonna operate better on a daily basis. Yeah. You improve your style, people are gonna treat you better, you're gonna look in the mirror before you go out, feel a little bit better about yourself. Exactly. You'll groom yourself in a specific way. Same thing as style. Yeah. Work on making money. Maybe you don't have to like be a slave to material things, but you want to at least be at a certain place where you can live comfortably because that's how the world works. Exactly. So it's better with or without women. Exactly. But I think that a lot of guys just doubt themselves and doubt their ability to. Well, it's like it's not gonna. I think a lot of guys just doubt their ability. You know, I think a lot of guys just doubt that it's gonna work for them. Women, money, in any of it. Yeah. I can't be that attractive. I probably can't make that much money. And then the women. So it's easier not to want to try. And I think I think the human brain is very powerful and is very good at searching for convenient stories that are for convenient realities that would then let us off the hook. Yeah.
The thing is this is what I tell guys. If you don't want to compete, don't compete. Don't cry that you're not the man that everybody treats differently. Because some guys will compete. There are going to be some guys who watch this and they'll be like, you know what these guys are saying are true. I need to bust my ass to become a better man. There are some guys who are going to hear what we're saying and say, you know what, it sounds good for them. They were able to do it. If you don't compete, you're going to get left behind.
I'm gonna steal that. I'll give you credit. I'm gonna start using that if guys are giving me that. I'm just, hey man, if you don't want to compete, don't compete. I like that.
You're gonna get left behind.
No
bro.
one's forcing you to play the game. Yeah.
There's another guy.
But if you're watching this content, you want to do it, man.
You want to do it.
Yeah.
You want to do it. And there's another guy who's watching this content that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's what guys don't understand. Like we might get so focused on the guys who are complaining about not wanting to do it, but I've had so many guys who's changed their lives.
Well, of course, me and you were examples where we watched content, we read books. I didn't leave a bunch of cope negative comments and complain. I just like, fuck, I guess I got some work to do, man.
Yeah. I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
I
that
guess
was the first thing. Yeah.
And they're going to be guys who watch this and be like, you know what? I can do it too. You're competing against those guys.
You also have to have a long time frame, right?
Yeah.
Because I think we all want instant results. And of course, put your head down in the gym, you should be able to have a pretty solid transformation in 1 or 2 years, right?
Yeah.
But I got on this path. I'm 34, right? But I got on the path of self-improvement probably 21. I mean, it's 14 years in the game.
Yeah.
It's 8 years in the YouTube game. It takes time too.
It takes time.
It takes time.
It takes time. And guys they look at it like such a long time, but they've lived such a long time already with not being the man they want. Yeah. So like, bro, you've already lived, you're in your mid-20s, late 20s, 30s. You've already lived 20 plus years. Yeah. What do you mean it's such a long time? If you dedicate 3, 4, 5 more years to become the best version of yourself, that's a fraction of the time you've already lived on the planet.
Unless you're about to just like hop off the building, man. Like you're gonna live the next 5 years anyway, bro.
Like, bro, you
get to choose your suffering in life. I heard someone say this once. You get to choose your suffering. You can not make that effort, not deal with the suffering in the gym, not deal with the suffering of the rejection from women, not deal with the suffering of maybe losing some finances while you're trying to start a business.
Yeah.
You can hide from that suffering and instead live like a comfortable life in your comfort zone. But then you're going to have the bigger suffering long term of all the missed opportunities weighing down on you. You know, feeling lonely, feeling like you settled for a life, and that you're going to probably be on your death. When they ask people on their deathbed, you know, what's your biggest regret? It's always like that I didn't go for more of those things.
Exactly.
I'd rather choose the suffering of like, fuck, I don't feel like. Bro, I didn't even want to come to Miami. Not because I don't like Miami. I just didn't want to come here. We've been filming all these videos, doing all these podcasts. I just wanted to like relax this weekend. But I'll choose, and I'm enjoying this conversation. This ain't suffering, but I'll choose the suffering of like, whatever. I'll just wake up and get this shit done because I know that my future self will be happy with it.
Exactly. And you're putting in the daily deposits to become the best you. Yeah. Like it's gonna be hard. Like nobody. I think guys think that it's only hard for them. They think that their problems are so singular, like it's so unique. Bro, we all go through the same shit. We all feel like we don't want to do shit sometimes. I've been working out for fucking 14 years. There's some days I wake up, I'm like, bruh, the gym again, but I gotta do it. There's some days where I don't want to do a live stream. I don't want to do but I still do it. Like we all suffer from the same things that you suffer from, the same laziness sometimes, but we just do it. That's what separates the winners from the losers. The guys who are gonna win feel the same shit you feel. They just do it. That's the only difference. Yep. You and them. They did it, you didn't.
Yeah.
So we all feel the same shit. So just get this shit done.
See, I mean, it is obvious, I guess. I think it is obvious.
Yeah, but guys don't have that mindset, man. Guys don't have a conqueror's mindset. Like you gotta want to conquer the world, man. You gotta want to conquer the world.
And you gotta build that. You gotta build that habit over time too, right? Like the first few approaches, it'll be hard, man. You're not even gonna do them. You're gonna go out, you're gonna see the girl, you're not gonna approach, right?
Yeah.
The first few workouts, you're gonna be kind of intimidated by everyone at the gym. You might just, I don't know, do like a couple exercises where people can't see you as much or head back. The first few times you try and improve your style, you might go into Zara trying a few things and be like, I can't pull this off, and head out, right? Like that's, but you got to get past that initial stage.
Guys think that they're supposed to be good at things naturally.
It's also not going to be that hard.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, like we deal with the same problems now, but it gets easier in the sense that you get used to just telling yourself, like, you don't have a choice. You're just going to do this.
Because you stacked up those I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
Once you have a couple of those I'm going to do it anyways, and you've seen I'm going to do it anyways turn out to something great, it becomes easier for you to say, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah, the first girl that says, yeah, you know what? Sure, let's hang out. And then she gives you your number, and then maybe you don't even hang out with her, but maybe you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even kiss her. Maybe you bring her home.
Yeah.
Like, but once you've even had one of those, you're like,
holy shit.
It becomes now harder not to approach the next girl, but you say, fuck that. it can happen again.
It can happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to, that's what I'm saying. Guys, they lose so much hope. Like, bro, just get yourself that first win. It's going to be tough. We all went through that same hurdle that you're going through. Give yourself that first glimmer of light, glimmer of hope, and then it's going to be easier for you moving forward.
All right, so I got some questions for you from Beast
worries.
Nation, from my community. But first, what stresses you out today? Because we're talking about all these things in the past used to be our pain point. What stresses you out these days?
I look at stress differently these days, man. I think that's what's been helping me a lot. I look at stress as I'm becoming a more important man. So I don't look at stress. I just expect stress. Like the most things that stress me out with business. I have my own mentorship. I run the business. I got a team, et cetera, et cetera. That can be stressful, right? It's always shit going wrong. But then I hear people in business who are light years ahead of me say they go through the same shit. I'm like, bro, who the fuck am I to say I'm stressed out? Like, my business is fucking tiny compared to this. I'm just like, if I want to become a more important man, like, stress is a part of it. And learning how to manage that stress, like, and still do what I need to do is what's going to make me more important in the future.
So how do you manage the stress?
Several things. I would say what's been helping me right now, getting great sleep, sauna.
Bro, sleep. It's so basic and it's so boring to talk about, but bro, I recently got this thing called 8 Sleep. It's like a cover for my mattress that keeps it cold because I always get hot at night. But and I know people can get like those wearables, right? Like the Oura Ring or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it like kind of measures your like HRV, your heart rate throughout the night. And it helped because it holds me accountable. And now it's measured. And now that it's measured, I always go to bed at the right time.
What is it called?
8 Sleep.
8 Sleep.
Yeah, so it's like there's no sponsorship. I don't even want to talk about it. It's like a cover that goes over your bed. It has like a water container, so it keeps the bed cold all night. You get to set your temperature for like the beginning of the night, middle of the night, into the night. But the same way is that if you wear one of those like Oura Rings or those Whoop straps, I think they measure like your heart rate and stuff throughout the night, so you can see how much deep sleep did you get, how much REM sleep did you get, and it's actually been a game changer. Again, just because in the morning I wake up each morning, the first thing I do is I look at like, how did I do last night? And minimum, I'm always getting like 7 hours. Like now, in the past, like, there'd be some nights where I just like, fuck, I get some work done, and I stay up and get 4 hours of sleep. Now, like, even if the sleep quality is not great, minimum, I'm at least getting like 7.5 hours.
The sleep is incredibly important, man. I disagree with the whole mindset that you need to lose sleep. I think you need to be more productive in your waking hours.
I'm 100% with you, man. There's this, and it's like the science, and it's obvious. If guys get 5 hours of sleep per night, like their T levels drop like 15%. They age faster. Like it's not. I don't think it's really much of. And I know, and I've spoken to people who don't agree with that. But to me, it seems like
because
obvious.
They look at it. So the thing about sleep, like you said, if you operate at the optimal levels, the time you have awake, you can be more efficient and get more shit done. Like if I'm up 16 hours a day, and those 16 hours are like high level optimal performance, that's better than fucking 20 hours at like fucking at barely any energy.
Yeah, and also I think as you get more into like business and entrepreneurship, you start to learn more like what a high leverage activity is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we need even less hours of work than we think. Meaning that if we just know like these are like the things, but a lot of times I think we just stay busy being busy. You know what I mean? It's like I got so much shit to get done. I get so much shit to get done. And I fall into that too. Like I just feel like I've not got enough done today. But like that's why at the bare minimum I have like the things like the list of items, like these have to get done tomorrow because these are the high leverage activities. And even if I don't get all the extra stuff done that I'd like to get stuff done, like this is still moving things forward in the business, and I shouldn't be stressed about it.
Yeah, money making activities. So
that's or it could be dating if you're really working on your dating life.
Yeah,
like, and I know this isn't like self-serving for me to say, but like maybe don't watch 10 YouTube videos about it every day. Like, what's the high leverage activity? The high leverage activity is probably like set aside 15 minutes to swipe on the app. If you're not getting any matches, like set up a photo shoot to get some better photo. Like, like stop like spinning your wheels and like what's like the impactful activity going to be?
Yeah.
Because it might not take you months and months of hard work.
Yeah. Or get help. Or get help from somebody like you.
I get a coach.
Like, Get somebody to help you.
Because they'll tell you this is your high leverage activity.
Exactly. And that's what guys don't understand about mentorship. And I have mentors. I have a business.
Same.
I have a mentorship that I run with guys. But I still have people that I pay to teach me about. So the fact that guys think that mentorship is like something that they should skip out on. Yeah, like, bro, how much money I fucking made from getting help? Yeah. Shit is unbelievable. Like getting people to tell you what you're doing wrong, versus what you're doing right is gonna save you all that fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just there's people who've gone through the same struggles me and you were going through in business and can point out, maybe they're not going to be, oh, here's $5 million, but they're going to be like, hey, you need to make sure these things are being taken care of and you should probably change how you do this. And then next year, your business is going to run a lot more optimally.
Yeah.
The same way that we've been through so many interactions with women, and now we've both mentored so many guys with different interactions with women that it's just obvious to us now. And maybe it seems like a mystery to you still. Maybe it's with the girl you're dating. It's like, no, I've seen this pattern a lot. So this will save you a lot of years of frustration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I tell guys, man, business is a lot like women. It's the same shit.
You got to get your leads. You got to convert the leads.
Same
You got to close the sales.
It's the same.
You got to manage the relationship.
If you look at it, the same way you got to put the same amount of effort in business, you got to put in women. You're gonna be more successful. And if you get enough help, like I've had times where I've hired a mentor, and something they looked at that me and my business partner we're not seeing because they're looking from outside of the business. And like we're looking from within the business, we're not seeing it.
And they've seen your business. They've seen probably 6 other businesses that are similar. They've probably seen them work through the similar obstacle.
Guys, please, I'm telling y'all, man. Mentor, like pick whoever you want to pick.
Yeah,
as a mentor. Do your own research. But bro, getting somebody to help you is gonna save you so much fucking time.
Just get someone who's either themselves or they've worked with people in similar situations to you're at. And whether that's business, fitness, dating, whatever it is, just do that. I agree.
Yeah. That'll help guys a lot, man. And the guys gotta drop this ego. Like I feel like a lot of guys feel like they need to figure it out on their own, man. And that's not true. You don't have to be fucking a rocket scientist to master dating. You don't have to fucking reinvent the wheel. Like figure out what is already working for people who have experienced the same things as you and implement it. And that'll help you. Like guys don't understand the importance of being successful with women. I look at it like this. Like same thing with business. The better I get with women, the less time I have to spend getting girls.
Yes.
Now I can go work on other shit in my life.
Yes.
And I'm like, y'all.
Like, yeah. You can be serious, stressed out, but like, I gotta swipe on these apps. I gotta approach these girls, or like optimize yourself, and now like you understand that. Hey, well, then it depends what you want, of course, right? You just get yourself a girl. I think that's what most guys want. Like, get yourself a girl, and then you don't have to worry about it so much.
Exactly.
Like, let's get it sorted.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. I got some questions for you here from Beast Nation. All right. So this one is from John Keogh. So he sent me a reel of yours saying you no longer approach girls in the gym.
Yeah.
And I still advise guys to approach girls in the gym. However, then I watched the reel, and yours was not like, it's not a good place to meet women. It was more like sometimes women are looking at it as like a gotcha moment.
Yeah.
So if you were, for guys, do you not recommend them all to approach girls in the gym?
I've done a lot of testing. Like I believe if you want to be optimal, test. And I think approaching girls at the gym is always going to end up low ROI.
Can I tell you
Go ahead.
the approach that worked for me in the past?
Okay.
And I know I was a single last 7 years ago, so I know it wasn't in this like girls like filming you or like being really like closed era.
Yeah.
However, it was a system that worked repeatably for me, and it's worked well for my clients as well.
Yeah.
So it's like basically it will be this. When you first meet a girl at the gym the first time, it's like literally an introduction. And it starts by first like position yourself next to her at the gym. So if she's on this bench, position yourself on this bench.
Yeah.
I don't care, bro, if you don't got to use the bench. If there's a girl you find like attractive there, just go do a couple sets on that on the leg press or the hamstring curl next to the like to the knee extensions. Like go next to her there. When she's in between sets, a casual look over, and the opener. I mean, we could get it could be any casual opener. Hey, I see you here working all the time, so I'm gonna say, "What's up? My name's David. It's nice to meet you." It could be, "Hey, I'm looking for a new track. Like my workout's kind of slack. Like, what are you listening to today?" And the first time, it's literally just like introduce yourself. Well, look, I'll let you get back to your workout. It's nice to meet you. Then the second time you see the girl, you say like, "Hey, Sarah, what's up?" Maybe give her a high five, whatever it is, and just based on her facial expression, you decide: Is she smiling? Does she seem excited to see you? If so, now would be a time to say, "You know what? You seem like a cool girl. Do you want to hang out sometime?" If she seems even a little bit avoidant, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Just get back to your workout. So that's the system that I
I got you. And I don't think that. So maybe this is my fault. I don't think that you can't get girls at the gym. I just think that if you do, like it's very possible to get girls at the gym. If you do, like it can always end up bad. And with girls a place that you frequent so often, I would prefer just not to deal with those girls, right? Because even if I start dating her, now I got to see her every day. Because I do go to the gym. Like, the gym is like my safe space. If I go to the gym, I don't want to have to see this girl every day. And if it doesn't work out, now you got to be in this awkward position. I do agree that you can actually get girls from the gym. I don't think it's like it's an impossible thing. It's just guys need to, I don't know if guys have the awareness enough to understand the consequences that can come from dealing with a girl at a specific place that you frequent. So that you may want to avoid that, so you can have this safe space that you can go and not maybe necessarily deal with a girl that you need to see every day.
Okay. Would you extend this? And I hear what you're saying as well. That it could lead to like awkward situations in the future. Yeah. And when you're trying to get your workout in, do you extend this to any environment where you'd repeatedly see a girl? Yeah. So like your work. This actually leads to another question. Because both of us have talked to Michael Sartain. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he's a big advocate. So this question is from Wolf and Gristle. He said he's a big advocate of social circle game. Basically optimizing your Instagram, making female friends, throwing events. So it puts you in a position where supposedly you don't need to approach women anymore because you're surrounded by them all the time.
Yeah.
So I guess he's just curious, what are our thoughts on that type of game? Because I don't think either of us regularly advise that.
The social circle game, man. My whole deal with the social circle game is that it ends up, I feel like you have to be in the friend zone a little bit before it can elevate to something. And I just think that sometimes that sets guys up for failure. If you have friends that you like spending time with, and you have a girl in the group that you want to go out with, just ask her out. I don't like the whole beating around the bush, being friends with a girl that you want to fuck and to eventually fuck her, or like that shit crazy to me. Or you in a group, you're hanging out with, because what guys will hear that advice and think is this: okay, let me go befriend a bunch of girls because it's gonna help me become better with women. Where Michael Sartain, I believe, and this advice really works, is if you're legitimately having a social life. I think Michael legitimately is a very social person and has a social life where he has women around. I think guys are going to confuse that advice for, let me go be friends with a bunch of girls and then hopefully that gets me laid. I don't think they have the same level of awareness and charisma that he actually has with his social circle.
Yeah, I think what you said, I think you said it well, and I got a lot of respect for Michael. And I think he's also in Vegas.
Yeah,
he also, it kind of plays in a bit to his social media and his business and his podcast and stuff. I think the reason I wouldn't advise it to most guys is because I think it would be a bit of like a side quest in terms of like, that's a bit of an investment to try and set this up versus when you can just focus like in these other areas we're talking about, your fitness, your money, your style, and then like meet girls in a little bit lower investment ways, whether it's dating apps, like just meeting them out and things like that.
That's what I mean. Like guys are gonna look at that and say, "Oh, let me just go be friends with girls, and then eventually I'm gonna get some ass." I think Michael legitimately has girls around his life,
and also maybe you got to be a guy who already kind of like is confident making the move and escalating things. That'd be my other thing. I think because otherwise, like if your guy was kind of like simpy, like we've all been, and then you're just making friends with a bunch of girls. I might be fucking myself even worse at that point mentally.
I think I agree with that. That side quest deal is very important. I think guys, you're gonna end up spending a lot of time and energy, right, to get the outcome that we're telling you can not waste this much time doing when you go through that route, right? I think they're missing that point. They're missing this is his life.
Yeah, no, it can work, but again, I agree. Put that effort into fitness, style, money, because those things are going to serve you well, regardless of women, and it will help with women. Yeah. And again, if you meet a girl, it doesn't mean not to talk to girls in your social circle. If you're hanging out with friends and they bring out a cute girl, bro, like, playfully tease her a little throughout the night, and at the end say, "Hey, you want to hang out sometime?" Right? Yeah. Just like exactly. You don't got to set up the whole circle.
That's what I'm saying. Guys will sit up there and fucking it'll be a grandiose thing just to get some ass.
I've talked to guys that are mentored guys like this before, where they're like, "I'm throwing this big party, like it's gonna be like next month." I'm like, well, this guy ain't gonna do he ain't gonna take any action until next month when the party is now. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro, what the hell you do? Like, no, you don't got to do all that
Yeah.
to possibly get one girl. It's so
And
much investment.
This particular guy, and again, he wasn't a guy who developed like prowess with women.
Yeah.
He just kept throwing these events, and the girl would come, we had his eyes on him, then he's like, wouldn't make a move on her. I was like, well, bro, you can't keep just throwing these events, man. Like, what are you
spending
side quests?
Yeah, you wasting a lot of time and money, man.
Yeah. All right, let's get the next one. All right. This was more general. Mania, his question is, the biggest problem young men face today. Mania's like 18 years old.
Okay. The biggest problem. I got a soft spot for the younger guys, right? Because it's like I feel like they're in a very unique position where they have a lot of information. They just got to pick the right one. I think the biggest problem for younger guys is finding who to actually let guide you. Because I think they're growing up in a time where there's so much different information. Like, I don't think a group of men have ever been experienced or exposed to this much information that they can go into whatever path they want to get into. So, like, I think they have to have a lot of discernment in picking which partner, which mentor, like, you got to be very, very conscious of that. I think that's the biggest problem they face.
What other than like watching my shit and your shit, what advice would you give them?
Their friend groups, they got to be very, very important. Unfortunately, man, a lot of these young dudes, man, they out here vaping. Like, I think the whole party culture has been exaggerated with this group. The like Gen Z, like it's normal. So I think like they could ruin their fucking lives, man, if they be a part of the wrong friend group, and it will just be looked at as like, oh, everybody's vaping, everybody's doing this. Like, bro, that shit is fucking terrible for you. Yeah. Like, you should not be friends with these people just because you guys know each other. Right? Not everybody you know needs to be your friend. So they gotta pick the right mentors, but see if they can find a group of other men that are around their age that they can like create some kind of bond and friendship with that are not fuck ups. Like, I think a lot of guys are gonna end up very, very feminized. Very, very, like, it's gonna be bad, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be bad.
I mean, it's. I think that the shift that way started probably during our. I know I'm a little older than you, but still, I'd say we're same generation. Probably started during our generation, but it seems like it's gotten worse.
Yeah, it's gotten
worse.
Yeah, I think for them, they gotta have like a very conscious battle to not get fucked up, to not get feminized.
Yeah,
like I didn't get social media. I didn't even know what Instagram was till like I was almost out of college.
Yeah.
Same. Growing up with fucking Instagram.
I started my Instagram when I started my YouTube just because I was like, well, I gotta have Instagram too, I guess.
So it's like they're just like bombarded with so much shit that at least we were able to see a life before this, kinda, and have a little bit more understanding of how you should act and carry yourself as a man.
Yeah.
That I don't think that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have more struggles because I recently saw and I love your reels, man. You have one where you like stop using like semen retention as like the cope, right? Like stop like, oh, I'm retaining my semen, like I'm better than all y'all. I understand though that the younger generation hasn't even, because bro, just open up Instagram, look through the feed, it's just titties and ass, man. Like I understand that they have. And obviously, semen retention, I agree with you that it's not like some magical answer, but the comments didn't like you on that one.
I know. Yeah. I know. I do stuff to piss them off.
Yeah, no, but you got to. You got to, man. I don't know if I have a question. It's more just, it's got to be tough with that much stimulation. But that kind of goes back to what you're saying. You got to be real careful where you put your attention.
But the thing is, I think guys, I am wholeheartedly against porn.
Yeah.
And fapping and masturbating.
Yeah.
I think that's the devil. I think when I say I don't like semen retention, guys think I think you should be masturbating. No, I'm saying if you're going to release, it should be with a woman you want to be with. Not just, oh, I'm not gonna be with anybody, or they think that I'm referring to them not watching porn. I don't want you to watch porn. But don't tell yourself that, oh, as a man, I'm never gonna release again, or I'm releasing for certain, because it's not gonna magically change your life.
No, it's gonna. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not gonna feel. You might feel a little different for like a few hours after, but it's not gonna be.
Yeah, it ain't. It's not gonna give you wings, bro. The work is what's gonna get. I think that's what it is. A lot of guys are looking for.
Well, here's the thing, that you can be porn addicted. You could be someone who's heavily porn addicted, still put in crazy work and make life gains. I would agree it's not the healthy thing and the right thing to do, but it's a balance of like. It's a balance of like the positive and negative effects in your life. So sometimes I'll tell you, but some guys, I think, get so focused on that. Like, I can't stop jerking. I'm like, well, like, look, you should, and here are some steps to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
But if you masturbate once and watch some porn tonight, like, you can still wake up tomorrow, go to the gym, approach a girl, like, put in work. Like, it's not like that's releases you of all responsibility.
Yeah, I think guys don't know how to. The guys don't know how to not go to the extreme. Like, if either I'm gonna not retain my semen, or
it's like 3 times a day.
Like, bro, like, you gotta have some. That's what I'm saying. You don't know. They need some kind of guidance.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this. Or if I'm gonna do this, it's not gonna be at this level. So I just recommend guys, man, don't watch porn and masturbate at all. If you're gonna release, just be with a real girl. But don't mean you gotta hold your semen in forever.
Yeah.
Like, put in the work so you can actually be with a girl, so it's natural when you do release.
Yeah.
All right, but guys, I'm just not gonna nut at all.
Yeah, no, people like the extremes, man. People like the extremes. All right, let's keep it rolling. We got a couple more. Okay, as we were talking, well, we kind of touched on this, but I'll still ask. You can give a short answer on this one. Jedi Alpha, he said, ask him if Latinas born in the USA are different from the Latinas he met when he lived in South America. Are women nicer in Latin America in both looks and personality? You kind of already touched on this, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think these women are different, bro. I think you can get bad from everywhere. You can get trash from everywhere. I think a lot of guys are trying to let the location do the work for them. I think put yourself in a major city where there's options and women. Now, I don't believe you should live in the middle of nowhere. Then that's something that guys fuck up too. They live in the middle of nowhere and they expect
nothing works for me, bro. Nothing works.
Like, but you get
there's 3 girls in your town, bro.
Like, bro, get the fuck out of there. Go put yourself in the actual city, but don't expect that city is gonna do the work for you. Don't. There are plenty of wonderful women in Colombia, plenty of wonderful women in Brazil, plenty of wonderful women everywhere. The location itself is not going to make you a better man. You still have to do the work. So if you're not it, regardless of where you are, you're gonna be treated like shit. Like, guys don't understand that shit, bro. It's a problem now in Colombia, man. I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, a lot of guys, there's a drug problem. People, guys getting drugged.
Yeah, my buddy was telling me that. Yeah.
Like, bro, it's if you're not conscious, like.
But that's another cope. Is like, well, he went to Colombia. Like, his advice doesn't apply to me, but I've heard that they could target white men, right? White men will be like, oh, it's an attractive Colombian girl, or American men. Let's say you're not white, you're black, right? But like, they'll target American men and be like, and put something in your drink, and drug you and rob you. And I've heard they steal their crypto passwords off their phone, clean out their accounts.
Now, this is not every girl there, but that's something you got to be aware about. You're thinking, oh, if I'm gonna go to another country, these girls are better, and then boom, you on the news because you're getting finessed. Because they're thinking, oh, we got a bunch of losers coming down here who think that they can just come and have their way. Now I always tell guys, if you're not well-rounded, you become a catch. If you just lead with money, you're gonna be a target. Same thing with the guys running over to Colombia who don't have nothing else to offer. Bro, you've never had an 8 want you in your life. You've never had a girl that was this bad blowing your phone up. What the fuck makes you think that you're gonna go to Colombia? Nah, she's gonna do it. Like, usually, like, you're not that guy. You don't stand out. Now, if you're getting these kind of results in America, or girls, you're a guy that gets attractive women, then you can go anywhere and know that you still desired by a lot of women. But if you just lead in with your wallet, you think, oh, I'm gonna just go to another country. I think it's unfair to those women. Because they're like, wait, I don't want to deal with your regular bum ass. Like, they don't want you in America. I don't want you. I still want a better man. Yeah. So you're going there thinking, oh, nah, they should fuck with me because I'm American. They don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. That I'm telling you right now, for somebody that lived there, you're not gonna get any leverage because you're American.
Maybe if you, I guess, maybe you've. rewind 10 years, maybe it was different. But Americans are out there now.
Yeah, Americans out there. You're not nothing special.
Yeah, the passport bros are there.
They're there. So stop trying to escape the work. Like, you can go to Colombia and have a wonderful time. There are plenty of beautiful people, great women. I met my girl there. But you still got to be something. You can't just, I'll make some money, I'm good, y'all should fuck with me. No, okay, we're going to finesse you. Same thing here. Yeah. What do they complain about girls here?
Finessing you.
They just want your money. They're going to do the same shit in Colombia.
Yeah.
All right, if you don't give yourself more badges, more stats, you don't become more well-rounded as a man. No matter where you go, bro, the women are going to be like, oh, we got us one.
And it might not happen in the drugging you way, but it might happen in the way that kind of like you mentioned happened to you in college, where you were just, I guess, dispensable in that relationship.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. That was all because I was not well-rounded.
Yeah.
I was relying on a connection with a girl to like, women are never. I don't think women operate that way, bro.
People get mad when you say things like this, but it's not romantic. And romance does play a role in things. It does, of course. But I agree that, like, we also live in the real world, and people, it's not romance ain't gonna hold you down it's not gonna protect against everything.
No, I don't think so. And I think the more mature I've gotten, the more I understand girls. If I'm a woman, right, and I'm looking for the best man possible, why should I not try to find a better guy? Because the difference between a better guy is usually a guy who just put in more effort. I've seen myself as a guy who wasn't well-rounded, who was relying on that connection, and now a guy who is in great shape, more established. And I'm like, bro, it makes sense why a girl would want to fuck with me now over the dude I was in the past. I tried harder.
Yep.
I did more. Like, this, you can do the same shit. So you can be that guy that all women want to fuck with, and you can pick which girl you want to deal with.
Now that perfectly leads us into the last of these questions. Then I got a personal one for you.
Gotcha.
He said, where was this one? Okay. What is going on? Oh, here we are. Okay. So if you weren't jacked, this is coming from Austin. If you weren't jacked, didn't have money, you weren't successful, didn't have good looks, what would be your approach to meeting women? Essentially, if you had to start over without any of the advantages you worked so hard for, what would be your plan?
Go back and do it again.
What would you do first? I mean, that was like an obvious answer.
I would go to the gym. Okay. I will go to the fucking gym, and I'm gonna start doing push-pull legs. I'm gonna start tracking my food. Because I know, bro, that kind of question is, okay, I'm not where I need to be yet. How can I get the maximum results now? It ain't gonna happen. I understand why I wasn't getting results in the past.
Wouldn't that be kind of exciting though? And I'm not saying that I wanted someone to come and take all my money and my girl to leave my ass and to like end up on the streets. But wouldn't it be kind of exciting to have that grind from the start again?
Bro, it's beautiful, bro. That's the journey, man.
It is simpler. Life is simpler at those spots.
Guys don't want to do it. They think that, oh man, I gotta be jacked, rich, handsome, this, just to get girls. Bro, it's wonderful. You're gonna literally build yourself up brick by brick.
To make that like your guiding purpose in life, right? To reach your potential, or to at least tap into some percentage of it, because life gets, I mean, otherwise what is life? Just like watching football on Sundays and jerking off and finding the easiest job you can do the less work for. Like, what's the, that seems depressing.
Yeah, I want guys to please stop looking for a way out. Stop looking for that shortcut, because it hurts nobody but you. It literally, you asking for advice to help you skip the steps is only gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna hurt him. It ain't gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
All right, because I know what it takes to become the guy that doesn't have to struggle as much to get girls, and I knew what it took for me to get here. Me telling you a pickup line, me telling you to go do this just so you can get a momentary result is not gonna do nothing for you. You're gonna come right back pissed off because the girl that you got left you. And that's what happened to me. I thought I figured it out by learning game. It was just theory that I was so focused on. I didn't build myself up. So of course the girl was gonna go back to a dude who, like, duh. Like, of course you're gonna do that.
Yeah, man.
So go be a better man, bro, and I guarantee you're not gonna have these problems.
You gotta live your life.
Yeah.
And you might as well try, right? You might as well compete.
Might as well. Or don't compete.
Yeah.
Remain average.
Yeah, or don't. Yeah. Or don't. Yeah, just chill, man. Just take it easy, man. That's all for those. So, but what's next for you, bro? So I know you mentioned kids could be in the future. Is that like soon? Is that not so soon?
Not so soon.
Okay, what's the end game? What's the end game for you? And I don't mean like 80 years old, but let's say you're 27. Let's just say 10 years. And now you don't have to be like exact goals, but like let's say you're 40 years old. What's the end game? Dating wise, business wise?
Yeah. Most important, I want to establish the business. I want to build a really big business. I want to like have a really big mentorship. I want to expand. Like I'm really into the business side, so I want to make that like super prominent, so where I can help so many men. Like if I can get that to the point where I'm helping millions of guys, I will feel okay. Now it's time for me to create a family. Until then, no.
Okay.
I don't think I've scratched.
Is there a certain metric though that you're like that you're gonna know? Obviously, I know it seems like you want to be like exponentially ahead of where you're at now.
Yeah.
Is there a certain number in your head, or is it just for now? It's just like just fucking build.
Because the reason I've changed my mind on that number is because I see the grind and
because
dedication.
of inflation. No, I'm kidding.
I said that's true as well. Right, that number's got higher. Yeah. But I've seen people with big businesses still have the grind and dedication to still go harder, and I'm like, man, I'm thinking if I got to their level, I can chill. Well, not really. Right? Like if you want to have something that's lifelong, established, something that's like permanent, remembered. I just want to be remembered as like, I created this thing for guys and they had this opportunity where they could become better. Once I feel like I'm at that point, like, then I can like, okay, now it's time for family.
Okay. And the content is going to be the vehicle to go there, yeah?
Yeah, content, yeah, 100%. Like, in today, if something changes with social media, then yeah, but right now, what's gonna be?
I'm scared of AI, man. I'm scared because this shit's getting so real. I'm like, we put so much effort into making real content. And I'm like, man, in 5 years, there's gonna be people just like make a video about like dating advice for men who are in this situation, and just like spits out like a perfect video with the guy who looks real doing it. As a content creator, there's made over 1,000, is it? I don't know, almost 1,000 videos now. I think. Yeah, that scares me, man.
But the thing is this I think that what differentiates AI from like guys like us is, guys are always gonna want that fatherly advice. I don't think they're gonna. What if
they don't know it's AI?
But they're gonna want to talk to that one-on-one connection. Is never gonna go away. There's no way you can get
the mentorship side.
Yeah, I don't think that can ever be replaced. There's no way you're gonna get a guy to feel comfortable sharing his beliefs, his thoughts, his problems with somebody that he feels that he can't connect with. I think that's gonna be the hardest part to replace. Like they can replace the content, so to say, on YouTube and all this shit, but getting down to helping guys one-on-one, I think that's gonna be something that I don't think it'll ever go away. Yeah. Like I feel like if a man can relate with you, like at the end of the day, he's gonna come to you because he feels like he has that you are relatable to him. Okay. And AI can't. If AI starts having real feelings,
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Bro, I've always said this. If there was a button I could press right now just to like stop the development of that shit, I'm hitting it. I'm done with it.
It's gonna get more advanced. But it's up to us to become better. Like we gotta make.
He was showing me ChatGPT-4 now that it can like translate in real time through like different languages. I mean, it's getting wild.
It's getting wild. It's getting, but it can be. But hear me out. How about we use that to enhance what we provide?
That's what it's gonna have to be.
Yeah, that's why I think we're gonna have to work with it. Yeah. So what we provide, we can't get replaced. So you're gonna get everything that this AI can provide for you, plus the personal connection.
Then we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, we have to not resist it, which is what I want to do. Yeah, we have to not resist it, but be open to seeing how it can be utilized.
Yeah, utilize it.
But I don't want to hop in too soon because it can seem gimmicky, you know, if you hop in trying to like implement it too soon.
Yeah, but I don't think we should implement it, or one should implement it like where it needs to replace you. It should be like the things that don't necessarily need you. Like maybe the things that don't need you specifically, use that as leverage so you can get more time back, so you can be able to do what you do best. Like be on the camera, coach, teach. I think that's where AI will come in. Like the stuff that doesn't need me specifically. Yeah. Let it take care of that.
Yeah, keep me posted when you start using it, but I gotta figure out how I'm gonna be using it too, man. And what do you think is next for? I hate calling it the red. Was red pill? This mean I don't even know what it means at this point anymore, man. It means something maybe 5 years ago. But the next, where do you think men's self-improvement advice goes next? Because we came from a place where when we were coming up, it was, be a player, get that notch count up, get the body count up. Then it translated a little bit more into the last few years. It's been a little bit unclear where it's headed between Tate focusing more on just like, I don't know, like ultimate masculinity. You've had some people more return to traditional values. Yeah. And now it seems to be in a pivotal moment where I'm not sure like what's going to seem right to guys next. Because what's something right to us at our generation, I don't think guys are aiming anymore. I want the 100 body count like it was when we were like first coming up. I'm
an optimist, man. I think this is a wonderful time. I think this is when you're gonna separate the fakes from the reals. Like the guys who really, really care about this shit, like actually helping guys, this is when you're gonna see them adjust and adapt to be able to provide a new set of value.
Is that a car, bro?
Yeah, it's probably a car.
That's the loudest car. Bro. I don't know if that comes to the mic.
This is every day. Every day in this area, man. But I think the guys who are really, really serious about really helping men, they're going to figure out how to evolve, right? Because one thing that I noticed about the red pill is it just made more and more men angry, right? And I'm not sure if you familiar with the black pill, but like
it was like the red pill times 100,
yeah. But when that came out, I liked it at first too. But now it's become something where it's like, oh, if you're not this color, this height, like what the fuck is this? It's becoming like this,
incel community.
Incel community. I'm like, man, okay. As a creator, I have to have as much integrity as possible to tell guys the truth, but to not strip hope from them in hopes of getting views. All right, because telling guys, oh, bro. If you like, it sounds that shit sounds fun. Yep. Like, oh, you this is why, like a lot of anger content. I hate that shit, man. Yeah. The women are this. Man, fuck that. What you gonna do about it? Because there are plenty of wonderful women out there that are waiting for the right guy. So I think the guys who are legitimately serious about helping men, they're gonna evolve.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I hope authenticity wins through. And like you're saying, like the creators will actually care about the guys and can admit our own mistakes and admit, hey, we're figuring our own life out too. And our preferences change and our relationships go through hard times and we make mistakes and do dumb shit. Yeah. And that's life.
Yeah, I'm not perfect, bro. I fuck up too. I'm not there. I don't know everything. Yeah. I'm smart enough to know that I don't know it all.
I still feel I felt lost my whole life. And I think a lot of it is taking action while still feeling lost. Because as you level up, more money, more problems, right? Like it's like as the businesses grow, like now I envy a guy who's just like single working a job, or what I mean? It's like you're so worried about the date next week, man. I got these employees and like, these projects, and like it could all crash down, and other people are relying on me now, and there's people who are far ahead of us with even bigger problems.
That's what I'm saying. It's like but it's a journey, man. Like guys, that's what they don't understand. That's so beautiful. Like, man, like there's so many different levels that if you just don't give up, you can become a person that you get the life that you want. You can get the life that you want, man, regardless of where you're from, what background. And the reason I'm so passionate about that, because I'm coming from Nigeria.
You came from Nigeria without a father, 9 years old, bro.
So I'm like, there's nothing you motherfuckers could tell me.
No, there's a lot of guys watching this who think their situation is like, bro, you start from behind them and you're ahead of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't let people strip your hope away from anything because they're telling you that it's supposed to be this way. I think you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can accomplish whatever you want.
I think we end on that, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna link your YouTube, Instagram below. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
Nah, man, I appreciate you having me, man. That was great. I think more of this happening, more guys getting help, people that actually care about them is the most important thing. Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
You got it, man. Thank you.